more than one person enter a count in the same stock count ID at one time?
So I think the question would be, if I run the stock count, so if I go into inventory here, if I'm understanding the question, and I go to the stock count entry, so I already created the schedule, and I'm in here, and I'm looking at a vet. Well, I got to recreate a stock count real quick because just bear with me. I processed that one all the way through, so I got to start a new count. I don't need that report. I don't know why I did that. And I go into my stock count entry. I think the question is, can we both be in the stock count ID at the same time? And I'm going to answer that by, technically, the system would let you do it. However, I wouldn't suggest that as being a best practice. Even though you may be entering stuff, different items, what I would suggest is that they get split up into different stock count IDs. Just because the potential exists that one person puts in a counted quantity for one, verifies it, another one goes in and puts something differently. The system in itself, unless somebody's on an actual line, what it would do is if you were both on the same line, it would kind of get into the holding pattern where whichever one came first, it would process it. When you went to save it, you may get an error that says somebody else has already updated this document, so you could have an issue with it saving both of them separately. So my personal preference and best practice would be to not have multiple people entering count quantities in the same count ID. I would suggest you split them up. But technically the system would let you do it as long as you weren't working on the same transaction.